Hello, my name's Ralph and welcome back to the channel. It's my time, let's go. So today I get to work on one of my own projects, so I'm moving ahead with the 89-inch. We've got the tops off and the cylinders off and everything else. So today we're going to split the cases and have a look and see what's going on inside. Maybe I'll get time to get to the flywheels, I'm not sure. So we'll take our time and see how it's going, and I'll see what I need to get. So stick with us and we're going to get at it. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and leave us some comments and likes. It helps us to grow. And if you're a returning visitor, thank you very much. Glad to have you back, and I hope you find it enjoyable. All right. So I think what we're going to do is go around and loosen everything off while I have it here, instead of fighting with it over on the bench when I have it over there. Makes it a lot easier. And two little 7/16 ones for up here. All right. So I got my little coffee can here to throw my nuts and bolts in. I think we've got them loosened up enough there now. Okay. Into my bag of tricks. Little case splitter. Used to be always banging and pounding on them and stuff, but gave up on that a good long time ago once I got this case splitter, and I use it all the time. Okay, just measuring all four corners to make sure that I'm in there on that. Get a socket for this. Well, the last time I said something about this, about pulling the case off, a couple guys were quick to voice their opinion that it wasn't pushing the other side off, it was pulling this side off. The flywheels go up hard against the inside of this case, and then this proceeds to push them through. So you could look at it either way. You could look at it as it pulling this off once they've locked up, or pushing it through. I don't know. I just know it works. And I have these ready to sop up any kind of oil that's in there, and I know there's some in there, I can see it. See where this wants to sit the most comfortable. Right about there, I think. Looks okay. And it works just as slick as it looks. Sop up some of that oil there. And when you're handling these cases, don't ever grab them by these things. Don't be grabbing them and lifting them around and carrying them around, because you can bend those. Though they are tough, but if you try to start doing something with some weight or anything else, you can bend them or crack them, I guess. You can fatigue them. So just be careful with them as you're working around them. It's always nice to look inside, see nice shiny S&S flywheels. I love it when I look at stuff that's good quality. It's a great little tool. I used to always press them apart in the press. And you got a press that works good, and I've done it a lot of times. But this crankcase puller, it's well worth money. It's well worth the money. So we'll just set this aside for now. Not too bad. I thought it'd be worse than that in there, but just gotta get our clip off of there. It's a C-clip on the pinion shaft there. There we go. Just a little C-clip like that. On the inside the pinion shaft in there. Now, that'll just keep the case in there. So you got to pull that pinion shaft in order to get the case off. Then you can just lift it off. There we are. Somebody painted that in the bike. At the bottom. Right in the bike, I would say. And this motor, I'm not going to be overly fussy with it. Sometimes you don't have the time to just do every little thing, and we just need the motor rebuilt, really. I mean, it's, for all intents and purposes, it's in pretty good shape. Okay. Pull the races off. Oh, there's definitely a little bit of wear there, but just nothing unusual there. We will mic it out just to be sure, but I don't think there's any problems with that at all. Judging by a quick look at it. Okay. Now, my S&S wheels. Take the big wide ones. Sometimes. You know, a lot of times when you take them apart, you think the rod would go straight through, but once again, it doesn't. Pretty close. There we go. Now you got to get around the bearing, and the bearing is actually sitting up on a little pedestal. It's not flat against the flywheels. So you have to make sure that when you put this down in there, that it's not grabbing the pedestal, or you'll be cranking pretty hard on it, or even underneath the pedestal. There we go. It's a lot easier to try to take it off with a big torque wrench. Probably one of the best things that I bought was that. Now, I'm going to try to give her a smack here. They say 90 degrees to the crank pin. Yeah. Those wheels are going to be on there. And I know it just by the way it's going there. Let's let's move this. Where I can get a little better angle. Looks like I gotta form another plan. I ain't got much here for heat. Not much for heat. That's definitely gonna take something. We might be on a little trip to Jimmy's for a little bit of heat. They'll pop right off, and I don't want to beat the hell out of them there. I got brass, so it's not so bad. But maybe I'll just wait till tomorrow. It's too late in the day now. And we'll make a trip up to Jimmy's, put a little bit of heat on that. So that's the plan for today. That's as far as I got. Would like to get it apart so I can see what's going on with the crank pin and that, because there's so much rattling in there. Doesn't sound good at all. But I think I'll just leave it in the jig and just take it up to Jim's. Off she comes. Save me a lot of beating and pounding. Okay, looks like that will be it for today. I'm gonna clean some other parts there and stuff. But now I've got this part and I'm on the go with this for a little bit farther. I'm getting along with it. Another day. So I took a quick trip up to Jimmy's and I got a little bit of heat on there and it popped right off as I knew it would. I got to get a thing geared up, so I've got some torches here and I'm working on that now. So let's have a look and see. Yeah, I knew there was quite a bit of play in it, and as I look on this side, everything looks to be okay. I'm looking at it here and it looks all right, but when I get around to the back side, see that groove worn in the crank pin there? Right up here, there's a big groove worn in it. Right in around it. Let's see if I can get a little better on this camera. There seems to be a groove right around there. So, I knew there was some play in there, and I knew that there was something wrong in there, but I wasn't quite sure what it was. So getting it apart was a great step. Seems to be just a very slight little discoloration in there, but not even a mark. But we'll clean those up. And we'll get the crank pin off. So I'll get a socket and we'll pull it off. Go. There we go. And we've got the crank pin out now. You can see the white in there. It's almost like it's an Everseas, but they sometimes suggest putting green in there. And there's the marks around it. Start there and go all the way around there. And you can really feel it there. So there's where a lot of the play was coming from. A shot over here just in case. You can see the mark. It starts right there and goes all the way around to here. So, new crank pin in order for that. I figured that, but it's just another piece of the puzzle. So we'll be measuring up the rods and seeing where they're at. I get a new crank pin, a new set of cages, and yeah, we'll see where we are. Okay, So we're going to measure up these rods and see where they're at. You've got to remember to measure it all around, because they certainly can be ovaled out. 626. So the actual fact is that when I measure these rods up and down like this, which they move like that, I've got 1 inch 626 thou. When I measure it from side to side, which is not as much thrust on them, I got 624. So I've got 2/1000ths of an inch difference in these rods that are moving up and down just on that one. So that's the male rod. They're not around quite as bad on this one as they are on the center one. So we're going to see what we can do, whether we can hone them out to size, if I can get bearings for them. I'm not sure. Sometimes they just give you one set of standard bearings. So I'm going to hone the rods first to make sure that I'm going to get the right fit, if that's what I got. And we'll go from there. Today we're going to work on something a little bit different here, and may be helpful to some of you that like to do your own work at home and can't afford big expensive machinery. Maybe this might help. Today we're going to look at Jim's rod lap set, and this is what we've got for doing big twins and XLs. It's a complete lap for doing your rods, so that you can do the big end of the rods and size them to what you want, so that'll fit your crank pin and work properly. So we'll open the box. Of course, as with all Jim's tools, they come with a great instruction sheet for you to follow and tell you how to use it. So let's see. Looks like we've got an arbor. And it comes with 2 rod laps. One's for sportsters and one's for big twins. Now these things will fit the end of the rods, and as with anything else, it's a precision tool, so care must be taken to take care of it, not drop it, not bang it, not do anything like that, and treat it as you would treat a micrometer. Same sort of thing. So obviously, this is our big lap, so we'll just put the Sportster one back in, and we'll open it up. And this is what it looks like. And this is to do this end of the rods, as you can see. Comes with an arbor, so that you can mount it in your lathe. Like so. And by putting the lap on, as it slides on there, it expands larger or smaller. The end is tapered to fit the end of the lap. The large end goes on like so. Now we're going to put just a little bit of oil on there. And this is rod lap number 96740-36 from Jim's. And we'll just give it a light wipe. There's just a film on there. The countersunk end goes on this end of the lap. And the ends are adjustable down to the size you want. Now what we're going to do is go over and set it in our lathe and hook it up there, and I'll take you over to have a look. It says that the lathe should be run at 150 to 200 RPM. Now I'm going to check the lowest setting on my lathe, but it looks like 125 on mine. It says 150 to 200. So we'll start it at the 125 and see where that gets us. I go 125 to, and the next setting is 180 on mine. So I could use the 180, so it's in between the 150 and the 200 range. So we'll get that set up and we'll take you over there and see how it goes. So I'll set my dial bore gauge up to show the size inside at what is the size that we want to hit. So we've just put a little bit of, just a slight little bit of lapping compound on there, of honing compound. And I'm going to just lightly cover it with a little bit of honing oil. I don't think that can hurt any. Reversing it. And with each time we do a little bit of grinding, we're going to check it because we're splitting hairs here. We're just going to snug the lap up a little bit. They're a little tiny bit loose, but just in very small increments. You don't want to bind it up on there. And one more little touch. And I think we've got. Now we're just checking to make sure that we're right on zero. Down. Oh. We're right on zero. And as I move it up and down, you can see the dial doesn't change. So that's right where we want to be. So it takes a little bit of fiddling around to get the rod right exactly where you want it, but it's important that it's the same all the way around, the same size, and from top to bottom as well on the race. So we measure it all around, and as you can see, we're dead on zero, which is 0.1625, which is exactly where we want to be for our standard bearings. So that will do it for this set of rods. These are the ones for my Armageddon project. I guess next week's going to be bottom end week for me. Looks like possibly could be. I got a few of them to do, trying to play catch up with stuff, and then we got to move on to a new project. I got a little 88 cubic inch big bore shovel head, which were kind of a great motor. They were a real ground pounder, and I'm looking forward to taking it apart. From what he said, you know, was happening to it. It should be interesting to see what's happening inside. All right. So if you enjoyed this video today, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do those kind of things. It helps us to grow. I want to make sure today to check out my brothers down south, Hippie's Chopper Corner. Hippie's just raffling off a bike down there, and I wish I had the bucks to get in on it, let alone the money to bring it up here. But I wish you all the best of luck, Hippie, and I'm glad to see that you sold out so fast. I didn't doubt it for a second. And also be sure to check out my buddy Slickhead at Slickhead's Custom Cycle. Slick down there has just been out for his last of the season rides, I believe. It's getting pretty chilly now, but I'm sure he's got some things on the go, so be sure to check him out. And check out my buddy Gus in the city at This Old Chopper. I'm not quite sure where we're going next week, but we'll keep you informed as we go. I'm going to be working on Margaret, and I think we're going to try to get the springer straightened out, get a neck in it, and see what that entails. It never goes easy, I'm sure, so I'm up for all kinds of surprises. But in any case, we'll get her done. All right, see you next week.